I call this meeting back to order at 5:22 p.m. Do I hear? I guess we will take roll call again, unless I hear a motion.
Roll call.
All right, there's been a motion to suspend the rule for roll call by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes. We are now on to our next interview. It's a phone interview. We'll have a few of those in a row.
Good afternoon.
Hello, you're on speaker with the Replacement Agenda Committee. Are you ready for your interview?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, perfect. You'll have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Your first question is, what is your motivation for applying?
Alrighty. My motivation for applying for the INC Rules and Ethics Committee, first of all, making sure that members stay informed and that our constituents stay informed with the Senate's business, as well as the different events that we hold. And then with respect to the Rules and Ethics Committee, making sure that we stick to our morals and have an ethical and well-maintained chamber.
Alrighty, and what experience do you have that makes you a good fit for this position?
As I mentioned in the previous RNA meeting, I was a replacement senator 2 years ago. I'm on my chapter exec. I'm on the exec of several clubs and student orgs within the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences. And I just enjoy being involved on campus and making sure that it's being properly maintained and organized.
Great. And what are some ideas that you have?
With respect to INC, finding ways to make personalized content for different student orgs within various colleges and constituencies for our senators, and then perhaps more retreats or different outreach events for senators, perhaps even more, fun constituency events, or even different locations on campus for constituency events, so you could have more students in attendance, and so senators have more opportunities to show face.
Great. Now on to the technical questions. We'll start with INC.
Alrighty.
What are the events that INC is supposed to plan each semester, and when do they need to be held?
Alrighty. I believe that INC is supposed to plan the Senate retreat, as well as the new senator orientation, and then let's see. I want to say they have to be held like between the beginning of the term and then like 2 weeks before finals. I think that's the right answer.
All right. Next question. How long do you have to post an open seat?
Calendar day, 24 hours.
And then now on to rules and ethics. How many absences can you get before being expelled from the Senate?
For a regular semester or for the summer?
Please list both, or either one, whichever you know the answer to.
Okay, so for like the spring, for example, you can have 3 unexcused absences or 4 absences total, unexcused and excused. And then for the summer, I believe it's 2 unexcused absences and then 3 absences total, unexcused and excused.
Alrighty, and then what is a constituency for a dorm senator?
You could perform 2 hours of cabling, attend an SG event or like a funded event for a club, and then I believe you can attend an IRA meeting as well to meet constituency.
Alright, and then do you have any questions for us?
No, just have a happy Easter.
Alright, you as well. Have a great rest of your day.
Alrighty, you too.
Bye. Next up is Co Levengood. This will also be a phone interview.
Hey there.
Hey, is this Co?
Hey.
Is it? All right, perfect. Co, you're on speaker with the Replacement Agenda Committee. Do you mind stating what you're applying for?
Yeah, I'm applying for an INC committee seat.
Alrighty, you will have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Your first question is, what is your motivation for applying?
So as someone who's been here in Senate since summer A of last year, it's been frustrating to say the least, especially since I'm someone who likes to always improve the spaces that I'm in, and as everyone in RNA knows, Senate has been a bit stagnant, and just as someone who has so much love for the school and this place, and has a huge desire to improve it, and which I'm trying to do through other involvements, I want to further my ambition by now applying for the INC committee. I think it's the committee where I can make a strong difference in Senate and promote transparency, which is something that's important to me, because I know that students don't feel quite connected with Senate. They feel a disconnect between just the average student and Senate, and I want to try to resolve that through my role in INC.
All right, and your next question, what experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So like I was just saying, I've been in Senate since summer A. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that's given me time to think about what could be done better in certain aspects. As well, I'm the alumni secretary of my fraternity, and so in that role, I plan a lot of events, like weekends of events. So I'm very familiar with event programming, coordinating, as well as the alumni secretary. I get to send out a newsletter every single month to an audience of over 1,000 people. So I've experienced working with like professional writing and newsletters and whatnot. And I also work very closely with alumni in that role, obviously, it's in the name. As well as just in other involvements at UF. I've been a part of over 10 committees, and I've chaired over half of those. So I have pretty good experience just seeing how to work well with others in different committees, what works well and what doesn't. And I want to apply that knowledge to INC to make it run as efficiently as possible, and so that we can make the greatest impact possible.
All right, and what are some ideas that you have?
So one thing I'd really love to do is work on that newsletter. I know it's been brought up before, but we can improve it in certain ways. And one thing that I've thought of personally is having a newsletter translated in Spanish, because I am a Spanish major. And so just having those groups represented is important to me. And that way, like, I know a lot of students at UF who may be Spanish speaking also speak English, but maybe their parents don't, and their parents would love to see what's going on at UF. And so if the newsletter was in Spanish, it'd be more accessible for everyone. As well, we could also do alumni spotlight speeches, both within Senate, like during Senate meetings, and then also in the newsletter. I think that'd be really cool. UF has a really long legacy of producing these great people that do great things in the world. If we could bring back former senators and just show that, I think that'd be really cool. As well, I think we should, along the line of the translation, I think we should make the Instagram a little bit more accessible through like the Spanish option, you know what I mean? I know some Instagram accounts do it, so they have like the English, bilingual, and Spanish, just so that it's more accessible for all. As well, I think it would be really fun to do like Senate Instagram takeovers for the INC committee, where one committee member will, you know, do a little day in the life thing, and that would promote more transparency and show students that, yeah, student government is really doing things for you. Like here, putting a face to the name.
That is time.
Gotcha.
All right, now moving on to the technical questions. What are the events that INC is supposed to plan each semester, and when do they need to be held?
So INC is responsible for planning the Senate retreat and the new senator orientation. And for the Senate retreat, it has to be held between the start of the term and then 2 weeks before the beginning of final exams. And the new senator orientation, it needs to be held by the second meeting after election results, second Senate meeting.
And then how long do you have to post an open seat?
It's exactly 24 hours to post an open seat.
All right, do you have any questions for the committee?
No, I don't think so.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, and have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
So, interview should be Raylan Adcock requested to go to the end, so it will be Abigail Butka, who also requested a phone interview.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Abigail Butt.
Hello, Abigail. You're on speaker with the Replacement and Agenda Committee. Are you ready for your interview?
Yes.
And then do you mind stating for the record what you're applying for?
Yes, I'm applying for the Information and Communication Committee and the Rules and Ethics Committees.
Perfect. You will have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. The first question is, what is your motivation for applying?
Yeah, so I am particularly motivated to apply to especially the Information and Communication Committee just because of the lack of graduate representation across all of the standing committees. I am especially passionate about the INC committee just because as a graduate student, in my first year, you could have told me that the University of Florida did not have a student government, and I probably would have believed you. I think that we overall need more students, both graduate and undergraduate, to be aware of what the student government is doing and how we are supporting them. So that is kind of the motivation for my application.
All right. What is some experience you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Yeah, so I have, as a graduate student, I am in charge of leading, communicating with, and basically organizing a group of 6 undergraduate students and 2 master's students. I also have a lot of years of experience being the team leader of robotics teams. So that gives me a really good understanding of what information is vital for those working under me and working with me, what they need to know. And also as a graduate student, my entire job is to learn new things and look into potential solutions. So I think that would make me a good fit for either committee.
All right. What are some ideas that you have?
Yeah, so as I kind of said, my focus is mainly on the INC committee. I would mostly like to begin by regularly publishing the monthly Senate newsletter and ensuring that it contains all the relevant information on past legislation and the condensed meeting minutes. I also think it would be really helpful, especially for constituents, to understand who is their senator, to enforce updating the Senate website with headshots for every senator.
All right. We will now move into technical questions, starting with INC. What are the events that INC is supposed to plan each semester, and when do they need to be held?
Yeah, so the first one is the Senate retreat, and that should be held between the beginning of the term and 2 weeks before the final exams begin. And the second one is the new senator orientation, and that needs to be held by the second Senate meeting post-election result verification.
All right. And then how long do you have to post an open seat?
I believe that is 24 hours.
All right. Moving on to the rules and ethics technical questions. What is your motivation, or sorry. How many absences can you get before being expelled from the Senate?
So there is the fall and spring where you can have 3 unexcused or 4 excused and unexcused before you are expelled. And then for summer, I believe that would be 2 unexcused or 3 excused and unexcused combined.
All right. And then what are the constituency requirements for an off-campus senator?
For an off-campus senator, that would be 2 hours of tabling, 1 student government funded event, 1 student government event, and 1 of the city or county commission meetings, I believe.
Perfect. Do you have any questions for us?
Nope. I just thank you guys for your time. I appreciate you taking the time to do the phone interview, and I appreciate you guys interviewing on Easter Sunday.
Of course. You have a great rest of your day.
Perfect. Thanks you so much. You too.
Bye-bye. Our next interview is another phone interview. It's Megan McGuire for the Information and Communication seat.
Hi, this is Megan.
Hi, Megan. You're on speaker with the Replacement and Agenda Committee. Are you ready for your interview?
I am ready for my interview.
Perfect. Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
My name is Meg McGuire, and I am applying for the Informations and Communications position.
Perfect. You have 4 minutes whenever you would like to begin. Your first question is, what is your motivation for applying?
So this is my second semester in Senate, and I just really want to be a part of something bigger within Senate. I want to really be able to give a lot of my different talents and be able to contribute a lot more, especially as an off-campus senator. I feel like it's important that we continue working on our PR efforts, and I've really been working on that recently, so I'm hoping to have that as a big contributing factor. I also just really want to be a welcoming face to anyone that comes into Senate. I know this can easily be done without being on a committee and just with our weekly meetings, but I feel like I have a really good personality and really good aspects about me that would make me a good fit for the committee.
All right, your next question is, what is some experience you have that would make you a good fit for the role?
I would say my main thing would be the fact I'm the Vice President of Internal Philanthropy for Delta Zeta, and I know I mentioned this when doing my application, but just going to the nitty-gritty, I've always thought the reason you should continue doing something should be because that's the way it's always been done. Most people typically just go up based off the groundwork for this position, but I created a completely new fundraiser this semester. In addition to that, I created a completely new event for philanthropy, and doing both of those things has allowed me to gain different aspects in PR skills. I created an Instagram for the event and ran it myself with the help of my committee. Also doing this, I had to communicate to my chapter because obviously no one really knew what was going on because it was a completely new event, so that really helped me with my communication aspects. And then also just working with new members, clearing up any confusions about the philanthropy event. So I'm used to working with a variety of new members for any organization. And then I'm also the Director of Organization Outreach for Grace Advocacy Program, which is GAP. We work with the homeless shelter Grace Marketplace. So just through that, I have a lot of experience with emailing, contacting different orgs, presenting at different orgs, and just getting the word out about anything I'm passionate about.
All right, and then what are some ideas that you have?
So I really want to implement a mock Senate meeting as a part of the new senator orientation. Learning all the rules and all the requirements is super important, and I know it's been really beneficial for a lot of new senators, but I think just experiencing a meeting and going through the procedures firsthand before an actual meeting would be really helpful. So I'd really like to implement that. And then also just in regards to our PR efforts, doing a get to know you type of thing on our Instagram, so the student body can really get to know the senators that are representing them. We could have a variety of different things like Meet Senate Monday or Why Senate Wednesday, where different senators could talk about why they decided to join Senate. I feel like this could also aid in our bipartisan efforts, so I feel like it would be a really good thing to implement.
Right, we are now on to technical questions, starting with INC. What are the events that INC is supposed to plan each semester, and when do they need to be held?
You've got the Senate retreat and then also the new senator orientation. New senator orientation, you got to have it by the second Senate meeting after the election results. And then the Senate retreat, that's got to be held between the beginning of that term and then I believe it's 2 weeks before final exams or 14 days.
And how long do you have to post an open seat?
24 hours.
All right. Do you have any questions for the committee?
I do not.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
You as well. Thank you.
We are now in line for Matola Foyet. Are you ready?
Hello.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Thank you.
Oh yeah. You have 4 minutes. Do you mind restating your name and what you're applying for?
Yes, my name is Matolo Foye and I'm applying for a seat in the INC committee.
All right. You have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. All right. What is your motivation for applying?
Okay, esteemed senators, I'm not going to bore you with the fact that graduate students are underrepresented in the committees because you have heard it so many times and it's going to be pretty annoying to keep repeating that. But apart from the fact that that's one of the reasons why I'm applying, the other reason is that I have identified several gaps in the current operations of the INC committee, and I have solutions for that, and I believe you're going to discuss that later in the interview.
So what is some experience that you have that makes you a good fit for this position?
Okay, so you have in front of you a Commonwealth correspondent. I've been a Commonwealth correspondent for the past 8 years now. I started when I was 15. You have all the proof online. I'm also a former Director of Communication and Public Affairs for a Modern United Nations event that was in Ghana. I served for 1 year. I'm also a current contributor to the World Economic Forum agenda, right? I send them articles every month, rather. And this platform is read by leaders across the world, and I have access to them and they read me. That means I'm pretty good with communication. I'm also a former blogger. I started on Facebook those days when we're young and we had to create all these Facebook pages. Yeah, I did all of those things. There's a lot of things. You can just type my name on Google and then you'll see all the things that I've done, press releases. I've published books. I'm a writer. I've published 2 story books for kids. I'm currently working on a kids book in partnership with UNESCO. And I'm also doing a lot of communication work with the Nature Conservancy. On campus, I have been a representative in a lot of leadership positions. I work with the Latin American group. I worked in the DI group at the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. I was part of the inaugural team of the International Student Council. Outreach, that's my stuff. I know what to do. I know how to do it. I've also been a undergrad assistant in critical thinking at the university those days in the UK. And that class had to do with critical thinking is mainly, just being able to identify information, what's credible, what's accurate, and how do you put it out there. So yeah, I'm pretty confident in myself and how I can contribute to this committee.
And what are some ideas that you have?
Okay, about ideas. I don't like convention, right? I think some of the things that the people have mentioned have already been tried by the committee before. I think we should explore new grounds, and why not try YouTube? Why not come up with a podcast for senators, right? Where we're gonna launch a podcast series for senators. We're gonna know more about us, ourselves. Who are you? I don't know who you are. You don't even know who I am. You need to know more about who we are. Not only the senators, but also the student body. Let's share more about our experiences, our academic experiences, our life experiences. I think that we need to that's how you get close to people, right? Not just, we call ourselves senators, but who are we when we are not senators? I think that's gonna help in bonding better with the students that we represent. Yes. Thank you.
Now on to the technical questions. First up, what are the events that INC is supposed to plan each semester, and when do they need to be held?
There are 2 events. The first is the Senator Retreat. It has to be held between the beginning of the term and then 2 weeks before the end of the semester. And then the new Senator orientation, we have to be done by the 2nd Senate meeting after the election results.
And then how long do you have to post an open seat?
24 hours a year.
And do you have any questions for the committee?
No, thank you very much for listening to me and for offering me, the opportunity to talk to you.
Thank
you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for putting this.
Kayla?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You can move the chair back.
Should I sit?
You're more than welcome.
You can stand, you can sit,
Okay,
whatever.
I'll
Sit or stand, whatever you'd like to do.
Perfect, yeah.
Okay, hi. I have a little paper for you. Sorry, it's the dance major in me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll give this to her. I think I got one as well.
Okay, awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you.
And do you mind stating your name and what seats you're applying for?
Yeah, my name's Kayla. I'm applying for the INC.
You have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin.
Hi, my name's Kayla.
Or sorry, wait. I didn't need to ask you the first question.
I was gonna say.
What is your motivation for applying?
My motivation for applying, I'm really passionate about cultivating community in and out of the programs that I'm a part of. I'm pretty new to Senate. I just got my seat. I'm the arts senator. So I think I come with a new perspective. I just come out of being a constituent. So And prior to like the election and getting involved in running, I really didn't know much about student government. Like, I wouldn't have been able to tell you much about Senate. And so I think that gives me a unique perspective of like being on the constituent side and how can we inform constituents better, especially through social media and stuff like that. And yeah, that's all.
What are some experiences that make you a good candidate for the seat?
I have a lot of experience with social media. There's a magazine called Girl Genius magazine that I ran partially during COVID. I edited their YouTube videos. I created thumbnails for them, dealt with their Instagram and inner workings. I also have prior certifications that are expired now in Photoshop and Premiere Pro. And I have a lot of experience with mentor-mentee programs, especially in the dance program. It's like a huge part of what we do. And I've seen a lot of great work with that, especially welcoming new students versus the people who have been here for quite a while. So I would love to implement stuff like that.
And what are some ideas that you have?
Okay. So in terms of social media, I think that the social media page, specifically the Instagram page right now, is doing a great job of informing students. I have noticed the highlights. I think they're awesome, but they're all around like 2 years old. So that's not bringing any new people onto the Instagram page. I think that more often post more often, similar to what they are, just explaining how Senate runs and the processes and how constituents can get involved better, that are more up to date, would bring a lot of new people to the page. I also think that like the actual posts on the Instagram can be made more often. I think they can be more eye-catching. Like, for example, if you're posting a committee, like, and just saying, here, these are the people in the committee, and saying their names, and like find more information on the SG website. Instead of that, we could create like a carousel with slides, information on each person in the committee, their major, their interests, like how to reach out to them, why you should reach out to them. And I think that'll make it a lot more accessible for people to get to know who their senators are. I also think tabling can be made more exciting. Like, campaign is characterized by such a presence of inclusivity and like welcoming and trying to get people involved in student government. And like I said, I'm pretty new to this, so as a constituent, I've never remembered seeing like Senate tabling, this is Senate, this is why you should come up to us and tell us what you want to see. I don't have any recollection of that, so I think like making it more involved, fun, like having reasons why people should come up to our table, whether that's like scheduled games, again, like posting on the Instagram, like, hey, we're going to be tabling, doing this, come on out, would be really helpful in terms of making it more of a community. And also implementing like mentor-mentee relationships within Senate as well, in order for people to get more acclimated quickly. And yeah.
Perfect. Now onto the technical questions. What are the events that INC is supposed to plan each semester, and when do they need to be held?
The retreat and new senator orientation. Orientation needs to take place by the second meeting after results are validated, and the retreat can take place anywhere between the start of the term and 2 weeks before the exams start.
And then how long do you have to post an open seat?
1 day, 24 hours.
Do you have any questions for the committee?
Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you so much. Our next interview is a phone interview. It is Keegan Dunham for both INC and Rules and Ethics.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
That's awesome.
I do not want to interview.
It's instant.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
Well, I'll send an email.
I will text her as well.
Oh, wait. Oh, she was calling me back, I believe,
Oh.
as I called the second time.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, is this Keegan?
Yes, this is.
Perfect. You're on speaker with the Replacement and Agenda Committee. Do you mind stating your name and the seats you're applying for?
Yes, my name is Keegan Dunham, and I'm applying for the Rules and Ethics Committee and the INC Committee.
Alrighty. You will have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. What is your motivation for applying?
So overall, I applied to both committees just for an effort to get more involved in Senate. I slated in the fall as the Jennings seat, and it was a little bit discouraging due to the circumstances, but I really am hopeful and positive that's kind of only going up from here, so I really want to put more effort to be a part of that.
All right. What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Overall, I was very involved in the Senate in high school because, again, I am just a freshman, and I did slate last fall, so I've been in it for a little while, even though we didn't really get validated until December. So I feel like I was really able just to take the whole first semester to kind of learn how Senate is and just kind of just grow my knowledge, and so I feel like that kind of helps prepare me for this.
All right. And what are some ideas that you have?
So some ideas I have for the Rules and Ethics Committee, I would just say to project the voter record items on the board at the end of each meeting so that everyone can see what they should have down, because sometimes I do sit in the back and I feel like sometimes I can miss things, or at the end it kind of gets a little hectic, so I feel like this is just like a situation to make sure everyone has what they need to so they don't really risk a half absence or anything like that.
All right. We'll now move on to technical questions. First for INC, what are the events that INC is supposed to plan each semester, and when do they need to be held?
So the Senate retreat, so it has to be held between beginning of the term and 14 days before final exams begin. And then the second one is the new senator orientation, which has to be held by the second Senate meeting after the election results.
And then how long do you have to post an open Senate seat?
24 hours.
All right. Now for rules and ethics, how many absences can you get before being expelled from the Senate?
For fall and spring, you can have 3 unexcused absences or 4 combined unexcused and excused. And then for summer, you can have 2 unexcused absences or a combination of 3 excused and unexcused.
All right. And what is the constituency for a college senator?
For a college senator, that is 2 hours of tabling. You have to attend an SG-funded event, attend a meeting of an organization in your college or an SG event. And then for a professional school, you have 1 hour of tabling, attend an SG-funded event, and attend a meeting of an academic organization related to that college.
Perfect. Do you have any questions for the committee?
I do not.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, you too.
Next interview was Andrew Sabadosh, who withdrew their application. So we are just kind of waiting around until 6 for our next interview.
During the wait, have you all received the email?
Yes.
We'll be getting like a couple minutes, or maybe like 20 minutes.
What'd you say?
20 minutes before deliberations.
Yeah, we'll do a recess, probably about 15 or 20 minutes.
While we are waiting, I don't know if you've got time to go through some of the things that I've listed.
Did you write that? I googled you
Yeah,
because I
so-
got curious.
All right,
Me too.
okay. So just Google and then
Me
you'll see
too.
everything then. Thank you.
You know what's I was just looking at this, and you know what came up? Wait.
You also of all my publications and a copy of my resume. If you have a copy,
I think so, yes. We'll check. Why is this so zoomed in?
Laurel's video. Holy shit.
Like 10 minutes?
Her SG sweatshirt. It's 10 minutes.
It's 10 minutes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was downloading earlier.
Senator Butropy?
Yes.
Do you prefer Roman or Frank?
Either's fine. My first name's Francie.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure that I sent it to the right
Oh,
people.
yeah.
I've never heard you called Frank.
Really?
Yeah, so the one.
is Roman a Roman?
No, Roman's my middle name. That's like a family thing. My great grandfather was Frank, so
Aww.
it like alternates.
Yeah, my friend, her name is Mia, but her like first name is Isabel, and it's just not fitting for her personality at all. And it's like a family thing, so she has the same initials as like someone. But how can you see anything? Hello? I'm gonna.
Sure. What? Why are you doing this?
This is crazy. Why is
Why are you
this?
doing this? I can see.
How?
I can
We're
see
not gonna be able to
clearly
see in 10 years.
It's 10 years later, but we live in the present.
That's a Venetian 10 years problem.
Exactly.
That's
I
crazy.
do not watch.
You already
Kung Fu.
have glasses, don't you?
Yeah.
So
I have
then-
like somewhere. But I don't wear them.
That's already bad.
You know what's worse? Not living in the moment.
What about doing both, living in the moment and having your zoom in on 110% at all times?
Yeah, my bad. Sorry, Chief.
It is your bad.
Hey, my little son. Oh, hey, babe. Fire. Wait, can I Damn.
You're on this one.
That's true. Oh, yeah,
Maybe you could be. No, I don't think you can.
No, you can't. Me and Blake are cut. We got cut from the team. We got cut. Alright, 6. Let's do this.
Christian.
Yep.
Alright, it is 6 o'clock, so we are now into our next interview, and that will be Christian Jubran for the open INC seat.
I can see clearly now.
Hello?
Hi, is this Christian?
Yes.
Hey Christian, you're on speaker with the RNA committee. Do you mind just stating your name and what you're applying for?
Yeah, my name is Christian Jubran, and I'm applying for the Information and Communications seat.
Alrighty. You will have 4 minutes whenever you would like to begin. Your first question is, what is your motivation for applying?
Yeah, so my motivation for applying, similar to my motivation for applying to judiciary last week, was just that I wanted to get more involved during my time in Senate and make the most out of my year-long term. I feel like specifically with information and communication, the work being done to make Senate more accessible to the public is extremely important, just in regards to how our student government runs, but also in regards to how our student government is perceived by our campus community. The more outreach that we're able to have within Senate would be the most beneficial and most efficient that Senate could run, where we could have outreach initiatives that would focus on bringing in different perspectives that might include just a general student body instead of just the senators that are elected to help write or help promote bills that we think of or to help us think of those to write, because constituent outreach is extremely important within our role.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So for this position, I have a lot of experience when it comes to marketing. I did a lot of work within SG and SAI, specifically within like Action SG. I'm the vice chair of marketing, and then I'm also vice chancellor of graphic design for Student Honor Code Association. And then also like in SAI, I do marketing for Gator Days. I handle their Instagram. So I'm kind of used to that like PR aspect of working within student government. And then also like within my pre-law fraternity, I've helped develop merch throughout my 3 years being involved in that organization. So part of like that role of INC, we're creating more like merchandise for the senators. Also beneficial to apply for this role.
All right, and then what ideas do you have?
So I'd like to enhance our current Senate Instagram, just to have it incorporate like more captivating content, more like engaging posts, just like providing links to live streams. I think it'd be a lot more like efficient if we had like a permanent camera like installed somewhere in the Senate chamber and had the audio input directly to the microphone, so that's a lot easier to hear, because I know like in our live stream sometimes it gets loud in the chamber, so it could be hard to hear the person talking. So I'd like just like to bypass all of that and focus on like how the actual live stream should function, to have like a permanent like camera mounted somewhere where the audio input goes straight to that, and then have that service also be available through our Instagram, because I feel like our Instagram's a lot more accessible or popular than our Facebook. And then also bringing back like senator spotlights, just because I feel like that was such a nice way to kind of showcase like our senators to the general student body and like show them like why we care so much about the work that we do every Tuesday. And then also I'd like to bring back or reimagine some awesome Senate designs for some merch that we could like wear around campus. And then also have like additional bonding opportunities that kind of would allow for us to kind of, you know, connect more with people across the aisle and promote bipartisanship. And then lastly would be to organize seminars throughout the semester, just to kind of like increase accessibility and showcase what we do in Senate, but also just kind of like show off, not like show off, but promote the work that we do, and how it affects students in their daily lives throughout their 4 years at UF.
All right, we will now move to the technical questions. What are the events that INC is supposed to plan each semester, and when do they need to be held?
So they do the Senate Retreat and the new Senator Orientation. Senate Retreat, it has to be held between the beginning of the term and 14 days before the final exams. And then the Senator Orientation has to be held by the second Senate meeting after the election results.
And then how long do you have to post an open seat?
24 hours.
All right. Do you have any questions for the committee?
Nope. Thank you all for your time.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Next interview is Reagan.
Lexi.
Oh, Lexi. That would make sense.
On the ballot, she's Reagan as well, which really doesn't make sense because I've never heard anyone refer to her as Reagan. So.
That is a phone interview.
Yeah, it is.
Doesn't know Lexi,
But you say that sometimes people call you Reagan. But like, I've literally never heard
anyone call her Reagan.
Anyone call her Reagan.
Yeah.
She's Miss Alachua County. As Lexi, so it's like, hello.
Oh, I saw she won. Right?
Yeah,
Oh, wait, I almost just called the wrong number. That would have been awkward.
She didn't win the thing that was yesterday or 2 days ago, but she
Won the Miss National. I saw that.
Let me see.
Okay. Hi, is this Lexi?
Hi, yes, this is Lexi. This is Blake, right?
Yes, you're on speaker with the Replacement Agenda Committee.
Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great Easter to all those who celebrate.
Alrighty, do you mind stating your name and the seat you're applying for?
Yes, so my name is Reagan Bazin, but preferred name is Lexi, and I'm applying for the INC committee.
Alrighty, you will have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Your first question is, what is your motivation for applying?
Thank you. I would say my motivation for applying is whenever I figured out that I was going to be a UF senator and that I had that
passion, I recognized that it was not only an opportunity for me to create meaningful connections across campus, but to also serve and to serve with a purpose. I think one thing that I strongly believe is that we all live and we all die, but the one thing that sets us apart from one another is the legacy we leave behind. So for me, my personal journey is marked by the loss of my father. I lost him whenever I was 9 years old, and there was only a 30% chance that I would go to college. But here I am at the University of Florida, a top public school in the nation. And I remember after hearing my name during the election results that I was immediately, how can I create this change that I want to create? And I've learned that grief doesn't stop whenever you turn 18, and it keeps going, and it's crucial that bereaved students, not just myself, but across campus, have access to these resources that help them overturn their adverse childhood experiences. So my motivation ultimately for applying for this committee is to be a voice for them and to leave a long-lasting legacy of compassion and resilience. I hope to guide other senators, reminding them that their journey towards building a meaningful legacy began long before today and continues to unfold with every action that they take.
All right. What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
I think the one experience that I have that makes me different from other candidates is that I am the philanthropy director for my Pan-Hellenic chapter, and my one mission for that, whenever I became that role, was to act as a bridge between all the great councils on campus, and I hope to, create that similar bridge between Senate and between its constituents. I think not only is Senate a very divisive place, but there is a way to, make the chambers a more cohesive organization. And not only is that, but most students on campus are unaware that they can reach out to senators, so just making campus and the chambers more of a cohesive unit.
And then what are some ideas that you have?
So, like I said, I do believe that students and senators need to have a better way to communicate with each other in order for students to share their ideas of positive change. Although students' information is available on the school website, many students are unaware of this resource and even what the Senate does. And I think hosting in-person opportunities for students to meet their senators would enable us to better advocate for our peers. As a senator, my role goes way beyond just passing a law or writing legislation or voting on laws, but it's also a chance to represent the student body's voice, and we can't represent the student body's voice if we don't know what the student body's voice is. And so I believe that by facilitating these meaningful interactions between students and between UF senators, we can ensure that everyone's perspective is heard in shaping the future of the University of Florida.
All right, now on some technical questions. What are the events that INC is supposed to plan each semester, and when do they need to be held?
Yes, so the two events that the INC should plan are the first one being the Senate Retreat, which is required to take place between the beginning of the term and 14 days before final exams. And the second is the new Senator Orientation, which is required to occur no later than the second Senate meeting after the election results.
And then how long do you have to post an open seat?
You have 24 hours to post an open seat.
All right, do you have any questions for the committee?
I do not. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great day.
Of course, you too. Bye-bye. So we are now on to Jackson Ranson. Is Jackson here?
Wait. He's doing a phone interview.
Did he fill out the form?
He said he asked for a phone interview, which I don't know what it means.
I didn't. Oh, I just got it like 40 minutes ago. Okay. Well, I will call. Hi, is this Jackson?
Yes.
All right, you're on speaker with the Replacement Agenda Committee. Do you mind stating your name and the seat you applied for?
Jackson Ranson. I applied for one position on replacement and agenda, and I applied for one position on information and communication.
Did you mean rules and ethics and information and communication?
No, sorry, I meant replacement and agenda.
There's currently not an open seat for replacement and agenda. There's one for rules and ethics and one for information and communication.
I'm sorry, I read the application wrong. I'm on it right now. Yes, it is rules and ethics.
Alrighty. So you will have 4 minutes whenever you would like to begin. First question is, what motivates you to apply for this position?
I'm motivated to apply for this position because, first of all, I've become incredibly interested in student government. I've really enjoyed my experience so far, and I'm hopeful that I'll be able to contribute something substantive during my time in Senate. I don't want to just sit and vote on legislation. I don't want to just be a part of something. I would like to contribute and have a voice in the process of student government. I intend to become as involved as I possibly can in the organization. I've assumed all types of leadership positions in previous student organizations I've been involved in the sports that I've played, and the intellectual endeavors I've pursued. I feel that I have a lot of passion and experience to contribute to student government, and that I have the ability to maintain the high esteem of the Senate.
All right. What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
If I were to receive any of the two positions that I've applied for, I think that I bring unique experiences and ideas from my own personal passions and experiences. I've worked in information technologies for a business where I'm from in West Virginia since I was 16. I developed a number of professional skills that I think have made me a more mature young man. I've been able to handle large workloads, a lot of stress, and learn how to navigate different environments that may initially be challenging and do so with grace. My brother suffers from autism, and it's instilled a passion in me to help the disfortunate of my community, and to particularly volunteer to educate the disabled in my high school. I continued in college, and I feel that that type of experience contributes to the compassion, patience, tolerance, and desire to help others required when facilitating communication, when appearing charismatic, and judging others' character. I've been involved in all kinds of honor societies for political science and pre-law, which I think has vastly improved my writing skills, my capacity to facilitate the communication I was talking about earlier, to work with faculty, and allows me to possess a familiarity with operating within different student organizations.
Right, and what are some ideas you have?
Some ideas I have for rules and ethics, particularly, are trying to facilitate an easier excuse system. I feel that it's pretty great right now with the excused absences and the unexcused absences, but I think that maybe 2 unexcused and 2 excused, well, you can have as many excused absences as you want, but I would reduce the number of unexcused absences that are allowed. And for information and communications, I just have a nice guy that will have some charisma, personality, and the ability to effectively communicate during Senate orientation meetings, which is the only event that I was able to experience information communication firsthand. But I thought that I'd be able to contribute a lot to their goals.
All right, now moving on to the technical questions. For INC, what are the events that INC is supposed to plan each semester, and when do they need to be held?
The first one, well, the senator orientation I was talking about earlier has to be held by the second meeting after the election results. And there's the Senate retreat, which has to be held between the beginning of the term and 14 days before finals start.
All right. And then how long do you have to post an open seat?
24 hours.
All right. Now for the rules and ethics questions. How many absences can you get before getting expelled from the Senate?
3 unexcused or 4 of like a combination between unexcused and excused.
All right. And then
But that's only for fall. Summer is less. It's because it's shorter. 2 unexcused or a combination of 3 excused and unexcused.
right. And then what is the constituency for a dorm senator?
For a dorm senator, attend an IRHA meeting or a special event, and attend the respective area government meeting for wherever they may be. A special event, 2 hours of tabling, and a student government event, or one that's funded by SG.
All right. And then do you have any questions for the committee?
No, I do not. Other than just because you guys are all experienced in Senate, I've seen a number of announcements related to meetings. Are senators just allowed to sit in and learn more about the committees?
Yes. All meetings are open to the public.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
And thanks for being able to hear me over the phone.
Of course. You have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Yep.
Not that I'm like taking this into account with like technical questions or anything. I was just wondering. So is the service 2 hours of community service is in law technically, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not like. I don't care if they don't say it. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the semester?
Yeah, I believe
I think it is, right?
I believe it's in
Because it's in the codes. Like when
I would need to check with the Rules and Ethics Chairwoman.
Okay.
My belief is that it is, but I very well could be wrong. I'm not super well versed on R&E. All right, I will now call the next cam. Is it Keishan? Kishan?
Yeah, or Keishan. Kishan.
Hello.
Hello, are you ready for your R&A interview?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
My name is Kishan Nayak, and I'm applying for the Rules and Ethics Committee.
Alrighty, you will have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Your first question is, what is your motivation for applying?
So student government has played a big role in my life this year. I feel like I've gotten really involved, and I really want to take the next step into getting more involved in it. It's been extremely gratifying learning like advocacy and like bipartisanship and stuff like that. So I feel like the next step would be joining a committee, and yeah.
All right, what experience do you have that makes you a good fit for this position?
I think the main point of experience I have is as the director of accountability for Vision Party Caucus. It basically serves the same role as the Rules and Ethics Committee, just like on a smaller scale for like our caucus. And I served in this role for about 6 months now, so I think like that is like a pretty good point of interest and my qualifications for the role.
All right, and then what ideas do you have?
The main idea I had was trying to increase the transparency to senators about their absences. So this would be like if an absence is given for either like an incomplete voter record or they're just absent or whatever else. As soon as it is logged into our system, like into your guys' system on the Rules and Ethics side, like a senator is given an email about their absence. Because I'm not sure if this is already in place, but I personally haven't gotten any emails about absences I've gotten. So yeah.
All right, now on to technical questions. How many absences can you get before being expelled from the Senate?
In the fall and spring, you can get either 3 unexcused absences or a combination of 4 excused and unexcused absences. And then in the summer, you can get 2 unexcused absences or a combination of 3 unexcused and excused absences.
All right, and then what is the constituency for a graduate senator?
A graduate senator is required to do 1 hour of tabling and then attend at least 2 graduate student organization events or meetings.
All right, perfect. Do you have any questions for the committee?
No.
All right, thank you so much. You have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too.
Next is Abul, I believe is how you say the senator's name.
He can't go.
Okay, I'm gonna send the email anyway, just kind of let him know. But we'll move on. I guess we'll wait.
And Ronan Hart.
Yes, and then
Withdrew.
Ronan also withdrew.
Okay.
Cool. So we have a little bit of a break until 6:30.
I can
Actually,
ask
you know what I might
Reese.
do is,
Try to call Noor.
yeah, I'm gonna call Noor.
Is there anyone else? Just Noor.
Yeah, it's
and-
Noor and Raylin. I believe
Okay,
is how you say her name.
that'd be perfect. Yeah.
So let me call Noor.
Hi.
Hello, are you ready?
Yes.
Alrighty. Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
Yes. Noor Golasorki, and I'm applying for Rules and Ethics Committee member as well as INC Committee member.
Alrighty. You'll have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. First question is, what is your motivation for applying?
Is it for which committee first or just both?
It's just for both. So you get asked 3 general questions, and those will be kind of for both committees, and then we'll ask you the technical questions for both.
All right, perfect.
All right.
Having just joined Senate, I want to get more involved. I'm eager to learn more and contribute in the best ways I can. And I feel like joining one of these committees would be the best place to do so, as it would give me the opportunity to hold a greater leadership role within the Senate, as well as have more opportunities to get to know members of both sides of the aisle, as well as collaborate. So that's why I want to join, or I'm interested in both committees.
All right. The next question is, what experience do you have that makes you a good fit for this position?
To start off, for the Rules and Ethics Committee, I have experience working in high school for my chapter of the National Honor Society, dealing with accountability. I had to keep track of attendance records as well as service logs similar to constituency requirements, keeping track of who attended meetings and approving excuses for missed meetings, as well as keeping track of the service logs, ensuring all members were part of the chapter were keeping up to the bylaws and to date. And I know a similar process takes place within the Rules and Ethics Committee, going through records of attendance as well as excusing people, and I feel as if my prior experience is doing so in high school just last year for my National Honor Society chapter has prepared me to do a similar role for the Rules and Ethics Committee. Being accountable is hard, especially when you have to draw the line between people you're friends with, but having done so in high school, I feel like I have had the prior experiences to take on a similar role. For INC, I love working with people on both sides and collaborating on a team. I've been a part of 2 leadership cohorts this year that have required me to put a lot of joint efforts into works and collaborate, and I work really well with other people and I'm easy to work with, as well as being reliable. I've learned professional skills this year that have prepared me to take on a greater role. And I'm not only accountable, but someone people can rely on to get things done. I feel as if these experiences have prepared me to be on a committee.
And then what ideas do you have?
So for Rules and Ethics, one of the ideas I came up with was some sort of a calendar that will be posted.
I'll pause the time.
Events per
Oh,
constituency.
you cut out. Would you like to restart that sentence? You'll get your time back.
Oh, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. One of the ideas I had for the Rules and Ethics Committee was some sort of calendar that would be posted on the Instagram of all the events, for example, all SG funded events, events by college and organizational events, so there are no excuses for people not being able to meet their constituency. Also, it could be used as a resource for senators if they have difficulty finding events to meet their constituency. I think that this would make things easier and also would make sure we have no people not filling their constituency. And then my ideas for the INC would be Senate socials before or after Tuesday meetings. Of course, if the meetings are done in time, like one after, one before, every month. And I know we've done themed Senate events, but I think of like a monthly social before the start of a meeting or after to boost morale, also to give something for people to look forward to. So, for example, in May, we could do like a Cinco de Mayo themed Senate, or in March, we could have done a St. Patty's one. I think this would just be a nice way to look forward to something at the end of Senate, as well as create a way for both senators on each other aisle to get to know each other in like a social setting.
All right, we will now do technical questions, starting with INC. What are the events that INC is supposed to plan each semester, and when do they need to be held?
The INC is required to plan 2 events. First is the Senate retreat, and it is required to be held between the beginning of the term and 14 days before final exams begin. And the second one is a new senator orientation that's required to be held by the second Senate meeting after their election results.
And then how long do you have to post an open seat?
24 hours.
Right, and then for rules and ethics, how many absences can you get before being expelled from the Senate?
For fall and spring senators, it's either 3 unexcused absences or 4 combined of both unexcused and excused. And then for a summer senator, it would be either 3 excused and unexcused or just 2 unexcused absences.
Right, and then what is the constituency for a dorm senator?
A dorm senator must attend an SG event of some sort or a funded event, and they must attend one inter-residence hall meeting or special event, and 2 hours of tabling, as well as attend a respected area government meeting or a special event of some sort.
All right, do you have any questions for us?
No, thank you for your time.
Of course, you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
So we have 1 minute until the interview at 6:30, and then Raylan is the other one that requested to be pushed back, and she said she will be ready in a few minutes. And I said, okay, just text me when you're ready. So whenever the next applicant is ready, I guess is what we'll do. Ready?
You're welcome to sit down or you can stand up.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do whichever.
It's whatever floats your boat.
Sit.
Sit.
Sure.
Yeah,
Literally whatever.
Okay.
Alrighty. Do you mind stating your name and the seat you're applying for?
Yes, I'm Reese Marcus, and I'm applying for a seat on the Rules and Ethics Committee.
Alrighty. So you'll have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. What is your motivation for applying?
My main motivation for applying is that for my whole first semester in Senate, I sort of didn't really understand what was going on, and I didn't really participate in anything, and I was just sort of trying to learn the ropes. And since I have kind of learned more, I sort of want to play a role in helping new senators understand what is actually required of them and making sure that they're fulfilling those requirements. Because what I also learned through my time is how important it is that we try and connect with our constituents, and the real only way to do that is kind of through fulfilling these constituency requirements and making sure that we understand we are 100 people representing so many more, and kind of ensuring that we all take the time to fulfill those requirements for the people who we're representing.
Your next question is, what experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
I think two of the biggest things is, first, I currently serve on my sorority standards board, which is the same kind of role that we would play if anyone was ever censured. So I've had experience kind of learning how to make unbiased decisions for people that I do know when, maybe they do something that is out of line in some way. I also was director of engagement for Vision Party's spring campaign. This sort of taught me how to make sure that people are tabling and fulfilling these requirements, and it gave me kind of insight into how to ensure that I myself am keeping up with my requirements while also keeping track of others. And then obviously my time in Senate so far has taught me a lot about just what we do as senators and what's required of us and why it is required of us. And I think that insight would be really important into holding a seat on the Rules and Ethics Committee.
And then what ideas do you have?
So my biggest thing, kind of going back to being lost when I first joined Senate, is sort of not knowing where to find constituency requirements. And I know we've obviously over time kind of tried to implement calendars or stuff like that. I think it could be really important to maybe create a Google form where people could submit upcoming constituency requirements, which we can maybe turn into a bi-weekly or monthly email, blast out to all the senators of upcoming events that people can attend. I know sometimes it's just there's so many things going on, it's kind of hard to know what falls where. Obviously we have the tabling and stuff coming up, but I think it could be a great way to just get all the constituency stuff out to people through an email. Also, I think another thing is with absences, people don't really know what is excused versus unexcused or how many absences they can even have. Because even I was looking at the doc for welcome to student government, and I couldn't even find the number of absences you're allowed to have. So I think it's important that we emphasize that in the beginning so people aren't confused or ever put in a position where they can't have their seat anymore because of an absence issue.
We'll now move on to technical questions. How many absences can you have before being expelled from the Senate?
So in the fall and spring, it is 3 unexcused or a total of 4 excused and unexcused. And then summer, it is 2 unexcused or a total of 3 excused and unexcused absences.
And what is your seat off campus?
I'm Broward.
You're Broward?
Senator.
Perfect. Okay. What is the constituency for a college constituency?
For a college, you have to complete 2 hours of tabling. You have to attend an SG-funded event, and then you also can either attend a meeting for an organization of your respective college or an SG event.
Do you have any questions for the committee?
I don't think so.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Victoria?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Perfect.
Hello.
Do you mind stating your name and what you applied for?
Victoria Peters, and a seat on the Rules and Ethics Committee.
All right. First question. You'll have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. What is your motivation for applying?
So I said this on my application, but I think it's just always important to give back to your involvement as well. And so I thought that, if I'm going to be on Senate, I want to give back to Senate as well as my constituents. So I thought, I could apply to as many or to a committee and do that.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So currently I am involved with STAR as well as BSU and a couple different other ones. I am also a literacy tutor for a service organization. And I think just having that many different involvements can really help with things such as constituency. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of what happens on campus. But also I do have experience kind of with filling out something similar to constituency when I was in the Leadership Development Institute. We kind of had a similar requirement of being involved and keeping up with involvement and making sure that we submit that. So maybe not on the other end of following those submissions, but definitely of keeping up with them.
And what are some ideas that you have?
So I think it would be great to be able to keep people up to date with kind of what's happening on campus. So maybe having kind of a very, what's the word? Oh goodness, I'm running out of words. Just an update kind of regularly with what's going on campus so that they can keep up with their own constituency. They can go to SG events, SG funded events, stuff like that, but maybe also a constituency check-in pretty regularly, so maybe twice a semester, just to make sure that everybody's on track and we don't have to expel anyone. or put somebody on probation.
Now on to technical questions. How many absences can you get before being expelled from the Senate?
So for fall and spring, it is 3 unexcused and 4 combined, and for summer, it is 2 unexcused and then 3 combined.
And then, what seat are you in?
College of Arts and Sciences.
What is constituency for a off-campus senator?
So for off-campus, that would be 2 hours of tabling or community service, 1 SG or SG-funded event, a city or county commission meeting, and I think that's it. Sorry, I tripped myself up.
And then, do you have any questions for us?
I think that's all.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
You too.
Roll call, Raylan. This is, yeah. I'll just have to- Hello. You're on speaker with the Replacement and Agenda Committee. Are you ready for your interview? Do you mind stating your name and the seat you're applying for?
Yes, my name is Raylan Adcock, and I'm applying for the Information and Communication seat.
Alrighty. You'll have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. What is your motivation for applying for this position?
I'm motivated to apply not only to be more involved on campus and with UF and student government, but I do feel as if my experiences in high school and student government has taught me that I do enjoy being a part of positive change, and I know that being on this committee will contribute to my leadership skills further, which will just make me a better overall candidate.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Experience during middle school and high school, I held many student government positions, whether it be treasurer, student body representative, class president, and I feel as if that helped me to develop leadership skills, communication skills, and how to work with others to reach an end goal. And through those experiences and interactions, I learned how to be a good leader, and how to negotiate and how to interact with a variety of different people.
And what ideas do you have?
Some ideas that I have would be networking mixers. I've done this with a different club, being able to collect with alumni and different types of organizations on campus, as well as different types of either themed Senate meetings or socials like karaoke nights or themed meetings. Also being able to work or have workshops and co-host with other student organizations.
Great, and now on to the technical questions. What are the events that INC is supposed to plan each semester, and when do they need to be held?
Okay, so the Senate retreat, which between the beginning of the term and then 14 days before final exams, and then the new senator orientation, which has to be by the second Senate meeting after elections.
All right, and then how long do you have to post an open seat?
24 hours.
Great. Thank you so much. Or do you have any questions for us?
No, I do not.
All right, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, so that was our final interview. Just a reminder, we're going to do the same deliberations as last week, which for our mouths who were not there, what we're going to do is deliberate for 3 minutes per open seat and just kind of do the order the interviews went in. So 3 minutes for the INC chair position, 3 minutes for the open grad and family housing seat, 9 minutes for the three information and communication seats, and then 6 minutes for the 2 open rules and ethics seats. Again, that's just the maximum time. If we don't use the full time, it's not the end of the world. I was thinking of recessing until like 6:55. Give everyone about 14 minutes to look everything over. Sound like enough time?
There's so many documents.
Or would you like to get like 7, 6:55?
Let me see if this
We'll just do
video
7.
goes on ×2 speed, and then if it does, then I'm good with that.
All right, we'll just do 7 to be safe.
Yes, it does. We're chilling.
All right, just to be safe, I'll move us until. All right, I move for a recess. To recess until 7 p.m. or ordered back by the chair by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes. All right, I call this meeting back to order at 7:03 p.m. Do I hear a motion to suspend the rule for roll call?
I move to suspend the rule for roll call by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to suspend the rule for roll call by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes. All right, we are now in line for deliberations. We will do 3 minutes per open seat as discussed. So we will begin with 3 minutes of deliberation for the information and communication chair position. That 3 minutes will begin starting now. I'll kind of just like point if you raise your hand and try to go in order.
Does this count with chair or not?
This is strictly chair. So we're going to do chair separate from the committee itself, just because they're 2 different seats. Are you ready? Okay. We'll do 3 minutes starting now. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Anamika.
I think of the applicants, Isha Khan is the only person actually on the committee, and I think that already makes her a very good candidate for the seat. I think also a lot of the things that she spoke about, as well as sent us information regarding in her document, were about the actual current processes of the committee and how to make them more efficient. And I thought that that's like something that, especially with the chair, a lot of the ideas are not entirely implementable by a chair of a committee because they are in charge of, overseeing the actual committee rather than implementing like smaller details. And I thought that she just had a really good grasp on how to improve INC both for the committee members, the Senate, as well as the student body.
Anyone else wishing to speak for INC chair?
Yeah, I can speak.
Go.
Okay. So I did love Isha's idea sheet. I think that she has some very strong ideas. I do want to note that being actually on the committee, while it can be helpful, is not exactly indicative of a person's performance on the committee. And I would like to speak highly of Laurel's video, which we just watched and was really good, where she elaborated more on a ton of her ideas, where she touched on each of the other committees and how INC would necessarily interact with them. I think that is something that INC needs to be doing. Also, she got to see what a chair should look like through her experience on the RNA committee already, and being Mal and a member of the Rules and Ethics Committee. She has a ton of interaction. Oh, and a former member of the Change Caucus. She has a lot of interaction with, I guess, people on both sides of the aisle. And I think that would be especially helpful for maintaining the bipartisanship of the Information and Communications Committee. And I have more to say on a lot of her ideas, but I've been talking, so.
What else?
Okay, to go to Laura Wentworth's application / also video interview, while I did like the depth of the ideas, I do have to say the ideas I don't think really delved deeply into how to make the committee more efficient from a chair standpoint. I thought they were wonderful ideas that, had she applied for a seat on the committee, would have made her a good person to be on the committee, to have some stake in those ideas and how to like with some of the things that she mentioned. But I didn't see a lot of those come from a place of taking leadership. They were just good ideas that we see from a lot of the applicants that just apply for seats. I thought that, and then to go to Isha Khan, separately to go to her application, I really liked how she spoke about the AI generated captions. I thought that was something very, very innovative. I also like that she said that along with presenting tabling, because that is something that the chair would be sending out, is the tabling opportunities, to also send out a Senate service project that they create. I thought that was also, those are.
That is time.
Okay.
All right, now moving on to the open grad and family housing seat. 3 minutes of deliberation beginning now.
I really enjoyed his interview, but I will say regarding the actual application of the applicant, I will say it was kind of lacking a lot, and I feel like honestly I'd really love to see the seat filled. but I would like to see a bit more like on writing ideas and just experience.
I'm going to echo that. I love the ideas, especially for having that personal experience. I think a lot of people that apply for this position might have not even lived in a grad housing, and I think having specific words where it should be a portal for students to kind of understand and kind of better. And I thought it was pretty indicative. I will say though, I kind of agree. I do think, I was just looking at the application, I think if you come back and like kind of like allow the candidate to elaborate more on the ideas would be really good, because they have a lot of amazing ideas and I also want to hear it. And I know the passion, because if you've been in that position, you know how much it can suck to not have representation. I just feel like even though the seat has been open, as mentioned in the interview, for a while now, like giving the applicant also like maybe another week or something like that to just elaborate their ideas for, because I also want to like hear the ideas. And I know it's only 5 minutes, I know it sucks, but that's just like, that's the only like concern I have.
Point of information.
Yes.
Did the candidate who won family and grad housing in the fall, did they live in family and grad housing?
I do not have that information currently.
I believe they were an undergrad. Was it Jason Drucker?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. I can't answer this question. Yes, I believe that somebody wrote in a different candidate's name, and I think that was the only vote cast, and that senator, or that former senator, was both elected in a different constituency and not eligible for that constituency.
Okay. So then, to go to deliberations, while I do understand y'all's concerns, the fact that the seat hasn't been filled and the constituents of the seat literally don't even know how to vote, I think it's actually even more important that we fill this seat with somebody who's passionate, interested, knows how long it's been empty, has actual tangible ideas on how to improve the lives and the housing experiences of the constituents, has talked about the disenfranchisement of the people who live in these types of different housing, knows the process of how to apply for housing. While I do hear what you guys are saying, I do think there is a level of nuance that comes with a family and grad housing seat that we do have to take into account, given that it is just such a disenfranchised population.
Yeah. I 100% wholeheartedly agree with that statement. What I will say is that as for the replacement and agenda committee, the reason why I also agree with the sentiments echoed by Senator Isaacson and BJ Ragavan is because I would be worried to set a precedent where an interview would entirely offset the depth of an application. Like the applicant's ideas, rent control, more involvement for grads. Incredible, but I would love to see a ton of elaboration and a full fleshed out idea there. Even if it's just like a couple more sentences, I plan on potentially tabling this seat, and then I agree that it's super essential that the seat gets filled, so those are my thoughts.
Okay. Can you recognize me?
Oh, yes, sorry. You have 20 seconds.
I don't know that we've ever cited someone's application in that regard ever before. There have been a ton of empty applications that people have turned in, and we've never brought it up as an issue. So why we're bringing it up now, I'm not really sure, and I do think he gave a very well-rounded interview, as well as is a great candidate just for the seat.
That's time. So we are now on to 9 minutes, like a 9-minute block for the 3 open Information and Communication Committee seats, starting now. Anyone wishing to speak?
All right, I want to bring up, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. Megan McGuire, that was like the one of the applicants that when she was talking, I just felt the passion, but more importantly, her experience. I like the quote of changing the mold for new ideas. I think the precedent of coming in to any organization, especially a committee like INC, and coming with new approaches, that's something that always helps because it's a very creative committee by nature. Her experience with building philanthropy events and PR skills and creating Instagram for something that, an entire organization may not heard of, I think that's a very good thing. And also, she mentioned being a welcoming face on the committee, and I know that's something that can definitely have tangible value, but the mock Senate idea, that was really cool. I never even thought about that, someone who served as chair, and I think that would be a really cool way to kind of implement rules and procedures, and when you have that first-hand experience, I don't know, I just thought that was something that was really cool, so that was just one of the applicants that I kind of put out there.
Yeah. I do agree with that, and I actually would like to speak favorably on another applicant, Cole Evangood. The thing that perked my ears was specifically Spanish translations. Coming from South Florida, I understand that there's a significant population, especially at the University of Florida, who whose first language was Spanish. I'm sure there's a ton of students who have different first languages, but I know Spanish is like a giant population here. And I've literally seen like public school papers being translated into other languages specifically so parents can understand. I think that having a Senate newsletter is super important and something that a lot of the applicants have brought up, like so much. But I think that he brings a really unique perspective into it with the Spanish translations into it for parent accessibility. I'm not exactly sure where these newsletters would go to, but this is based off the assumption that it would also be sent out to like all students or whoever maybe opts in or something like that, so parents can in fact see it. And then this was also brought up in a bunch of other people's interviews, so not going to talk about it for very long, but the Instagram takeovers is a creative idea.
Okay, I agree. I did like what Caleb and Good had to say about the Spanish translations. I thought that was a really good idea. Also something I don't really hear very often. So yeah, definitely in favor of that. I also want to touch on Megan McGuire. The thing with the mock Senate interviews, as like someone who's thought about it before, and we've implemented it in like my caucus to some extent, it's very time consuming and honestly a lot harder to implement than you would think. It's just very time consuming. There's different parts of Senate, like which parts are you going through? Are you doing like mock debate? Are you doing mock like procedure? Like it is a lot more than you'd like think. So the logistics of that, I was like expecting her to speak about a little more because I read about it in her interview and it like she didn't elaborate anymore on that. So also I do think that improving Senate orientation is something that a lot of people talk about. Whereas like with Co separately, Co for example, like I thought he brought something new to the table with the newsletter. I do also want to touch on Senator Foyer and Senator Goldstein. This is the cutest infographic I think anyone has given us on behalf of INC committee. This is so cute. Also, no one can deny Senator Foyer's qualifications for literally anything in the whole world. Like, are we kidding right now? So, kind of to wrap up where I'm at, I think Senator Foyer, Senator Goldstein, and Senator London Good are all really options.
How much time do I have left?
A lot.
Okay, awesome. We have 9 minutes. Sorry, I forgot. So I want to bring up Senator Zarate's also. When I served as chair, the individual always come up to me after meetings and express their ideas and commitment. I think it's a very, very big thing. But a big part of their application that I really liked was they talked about it. A lot of times we talk about like having the ability to do events, but a lot of these things are not feasible. Like for example, even like the mock Senate, I think is an amazing idea. Again, working those logistics would kind of make it a little more clear. They talk about like specifically said like to ensure the plans are feasible, they want to collaborate with existing communication channels, and that's a very, very big thing. And I kind of call that kind of idea because a lot of the times, especially with INC, there's a lot of things you want to do, but collaborating with existing communication channels will allow you to kind of also like not be redundant on the page, because a lot of students come to the page for information. If they see the same things 20 times over again, it's not going to do anything. We want new ideas, new things, and by collaborating with these existing channels within student government, you kind of leverage that social media aspect. And so I really like that kind of like approach, and I just wanted to bring that up as one of the applicants.
Okay.
I was just wanting to talk about Arturo as well. I think that his whole experience in Photoshop and video editing is actually really invaluable to the committee. I think that he has a really good just idea about including more. I mean, we heard it a million times about inclusivity and accessibility for the Instagram. I think that's a really good idea. I think that he would be really good in that role. Yeah, I mean, Co touched on that same thing as well. So, yeah.
I agree. I did the Photoshop, Illustrator, Sony Vegas, and other editing softwares. Obviously, is a lot to bring to the table with INC. So I agree that Senator Zarate's is a good candidate as well. To go back to Kayla Goldstein, I really liked what she said about tabling, because everybody talks about how tabling is boring, but her thing of like, let's really implement games in it, like let's make it like fun, interactive, because her reflecting on the fact that she was a constituent not that long ago and not in this position and had literally never heard of tabling or seen anyone do it, yet we're all required to do it. So how does that make sense? I thought that was an interesting thing for her to be like, okay, like let's make it more fun, for everyone involved. Yeah.
Yeah, I can speak for a second.
Yeah.
I think for reasons stated in the pro-con or deliberations, I do agree with everyone's sentiments on Senator Zarate. And looking at Senators, Yeah, and then a separate statement. Looking at Senator Goldstein's, this is such a cute infographic. I do agree. I absolutely love it. Geez, everyone has such like amazing, incredible background experience. The thing about Senator Goldstein's implementation ideas is that these are just a couple things that I've heard like a bunch of different times before. So the fact that we keep hearing like engaging tabling events, I do believe that this is something that information and communications is already working towards. And then, yeah, so I love the graphic. It's just that the more implementation section of this graphic is some ideas that have been commonly thrown around in this committee, so it didn't necessarily stand out as much to me.
Going back to Senator Foyer's application, after Googling her name, this one website is telling me she has 43 publications of research. That's insane. Not to mention countless articles, very well written, definitely a very good candidate for INC given that they have a newsletter that they're supposed to write. So obviously like that would be a really good person to put on this committee. And then to go back to Kayla Goldstein, well, I do understand. I think a lot of people talk about like making tabling more fun and interactive, but like the way I've never really thought about it before, but the way that she wrote it out with like literally just having games out there, kind of like I thought was different because people have talked about more interactive tabling, and I honestly could not tell you a single one of their ideas on how to actually do that in the past. With anybody, but thinking about this, like in my head, I'm drawing a picture of what this could look like, of like literally having like different things around the table too. Sorry. I know we had that wheel that we stopped using, and I know that worked in the summer. So I thought for someone who just joined Senate, this is a really good like understanding of what the committee does.
30 seconds. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing none, we will move into the 6 minutes for the 2 open rules and ethics seats, starting now. Anyone wishing to speak?
Okay. I thought Senator Hendricks was a good candidate for this. So,
Just to stop the time.
oh, sorry. Am I on the wrong thing?
Yes, rules and ethics. I don't believe Senator Hendricks applied for that seat.
It wasn't INC chair and R&E committee?
It was. I would say. I believe it was INC chair and INC committee.
It was
Okay.
budget and judice from the other.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, never mind.
There are 11 seconds elapsed. Starting now. Anyone wishing to speak?
I need this again.
Me too. I really liked Reese's interview and the application as well. I think her experience on the standards board was super important. I'm on the standards board for my Christian fraternity, and it's like very important to kind of balance like knowing people and like keeping them and holding them to a standard that is like just outside of who they may be, how you are friends with them. I think that's super important with the rules and ethics. Also, I mean, she was a really great interview, and I think that was really good.
Yeah, I want to echo those sentiments. I did really like Senator Marcus's interview just because she talked about something that is considerably like taboo for people to talk about, which is like being thrown into Senate and then not really knowing what's going on. I know I had that experience, and I think many other people have that experience regardless of how well prepped they are beforehand. No one can really expect like what's going to happen. So because of that, her interview intrigued me from like the first minute of it. And then as for her ideas and plans of action, I know that the Rules and Ethics Committee just recently started implementing like intermittent, letting people know like how much constituency they've done. I think it would be a great idea to include absences in this as well. So just generally throwing that idea out there. Because we already do something similar to that, I don't think that would take us significantly I don't think it would take significantly more time than we already spent sending out those other emails. So I'm for this candidate.
I agree. I did like her interview. I thought it was good. I second everything you guys are saying. Also, reading Victoria Peters' application, she talks about a Canvas page. I think that's a really good idea, like a Canvas page just for senators, and then that way the rules and ethics. You could just have like the files on there, and you could just access the documents with your updated stuff to see what your absence and constituency thing is at, like your tracker. I don't know, I thought that was a good idea, because I know we talked about like a Canvas page for like the whole school, which I know like had its like stripes, like whatever, but this one was just for senators, so I thought that was something that was also interesting.
I liked Victoria Peters a lot too. I think she had a really awesome interview. I liked that she said something about she's a literacy tutor for a service organization. That's really cool. She's involved with a lot. She's super knowledgeable about what's going on campus. I think that's super important. We've heard a lot about like trying to connect constituents with student government and like sending out a newsletter. I'm not sure how practical that is, but I mean, obviously she knows a lot about what's going on campus. I think that's really useful for this position.
So to echo like the first two sentiments, with Senator Marcus, I think a great interview, kind of like just that same idea. I wrote it down as well. It's like when you learn more of the ropes, kind of like that type of thing. Like a lot of people don't have the ability to say like, I don't know what's going on, but she admitted she found the constituency and kind of like implementing those Congress can be really good. But I also I did agree with Senator Peters. I thought the biggest thing that she said was in her interview, she talked about she wants to give back to enrollment. A lot of people don't talk about that. Specifically, she talks about being in STAR and BSU and literacy tutor, LDI, a lot of these things with being involved, but a lot of us are involved, but the intention of giving back to enrollment is a very big thing. And I think that constituency check-in is a really, really good idea. Having that list, again, with the Canvas idea, I think it's a good idea. I have heard in the past, I know people through RNA and in the past in Senate have brought up the idea. Maybe senators have, for majority of our leaders have done, sorry. But I don't, that's the only thing. With logistics-wise, I do know there's a lot of like problems coming up, like UFIT implementing it, but I think the intention is amazing. And I think it kind of aligns again with the idea of wanting to ensure that senators are not expelled or on probation. So I did like that application. I think she did a great job as well. But again, I don't know the logistics, and maybe someone in R&D can talk a little bit more about it. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I was planning on bringing up some logistical concerns if her name was brought up from her ideas section. That would make me a little bit hesitant about this candidate. Overall, I think that her intention and passion is there, but I did see fulfilling their constituency requirements, keeping updated lists and calendars of clubs. Honestly, that's a lot of work. I guess it could technically be done, but we would always be missing out on some type of thing. I think that there's an announcement portion of Senate at the end of every meeting where individuals, because we all have a lot of involvement, we could just like say what we're involved in, and if there's an event coming up so that individuals can be aware of other constituencies. And then as for the Canvas page, I was unsure of whether she meant one for specifically senators or just the student body in general. Regardless, it can bring up the issue of accessibility just because you would need, I believe, a UFL email to access it. If it's just for senators, then that's a different story, but I don't know who would like be attending it or whatnot.
Wait, point of information.
Yes.
Don't all students need a UFL email?
Yeah.
Yes.
My point is like, oh, am I allowed to?
You can. I will resume the deliberations time now.
We can talk about that after because it's not really relevant to her application. We only have a couple more seconds.
Okay.
20 seconds. Anyone want to speak? Yes.
I think for the way it's written, I didn't think that this was about school. I thought this was just about like senators. But I think uploading like the documents that we send out anyway wouldn't be that hard because we could just upload the document to the Canvas and like when Chairwoman Kinger just updates the document.
That is.
Right.
Seeing that we have concluded deliberations, do I hear any motions at this time?
Yes.
Yes.
I move to table the open graduate and housing seat by unanimous consent. Okay, I made that motion, not by unanimous consent.
Okay. By unanimous consent, it's objected. There was a motion to table the open graduate and family housing permanent seat by unanimous consent. That motion was objected to, so therefore it fails. The motion was remade, and we will now do a roll call vote. Give me 1 second. Sorry. All right. I'll just kind of read. I just have a list. Quattrochi. Yes would be yes to table. No would be no to table.
Yes.
Isaacson.
Yes.
Cipher.
Yes.
BJ Raghavan.
Yes.
Naidu.
No.
I will abstain in a vote of 4 to 1 to 1. That motion passes.
Okay, I have a follow-up motion.
All right, follow-up.
So I move to approve Co-Levingood for the open information and communication seat by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to approve Co-Levingood for the open INC committee seat by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Okay, follow-up.
Follow-up.
I move to approve Megan McGuire for the open information and communication seat by unanimous consent. Okay, I will make that motion, not by unanimous consent.
Okay. There was a motion to approve McGuire for the open Information and Communications Committee seat by unanimous consent. That motion is objected to and then remade. I will read the votes in order. Quattrochi?
Yes.
Isaacson?
Yes.
Cipher?
Yes.
VJ Raghavan?
Yes.
Naidu?
No.
I will abstain in a vote of 4 to 1 to 1. That motion passes.
Okay, I have a follow-up.
Follow-up.
Yes, I move to approve Arturo Sarate for the open information and communication seat by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to approve Senator Zarate for the open INC committee seat. Was that by unanimous consent?
Yes.
By unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Okay, follow-up.
Follow-up.
I move to approve Laurel Wentworth for the open information and communications chair seat by unanimous consent.
There were,
Okay, follow-up. I remake that motion, not by unanimous consent.
I had a feeling. Sorry, I'm keeping up here. To approve Wentworth for the open INC chair seat by unanimous consent. Motion's objected to and therefore fails. And then the motion is remade, not by unanimous consent. I will read off the votes, I guess I'll call attendance to get your vote. Quattrochi?
Yes.
Isaacson?
Yes.
Cipher?
Yes.
VJ Raghavan?
Yes.
Naidu?
No.
I will abstain in a vote of 4 to 1 to 1. That motion passes.
Okay, I have follow-up.
Follow-up.
I move to approve Reese Marcus for the open rules and ethics seat by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to approve Reese Marcus for the open R&E committee seat by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Okay, I have a follow-up.
Follow-up.
I move to approve Victoria Peters for the open rules and ethics seat by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to approve Victoria Peters for the open R&E committee seat by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Okay, I have a follow-up.
Follow-up.
Wait, point of information, that was all of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe that's all the committee seats. So we will now move into more of the agenda part.
Okay. So.
For reference, the Judiciary Committee has some legislation, but they also have Student Senate Bill 2024-1052, which needs to be added to third readings because it was a vetoed bill.
Okay. I got it. So.
Yes.
I move to add all of the legislation approved by the Judiciary Committee this week under their respective places on the agenda by unanimous consent. I have them if you want. I can
Under
list them.
respective places. Or respective readings, I guess we'll phrase it. By unanimous consent, are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Okay. Follow-up.
Yep.
I move to add, I move to add all of the approved and failed absences that may be heard by the Rules and Ethics Committee to the agenda under the Rules and Ethics Committee report by unanimous consent.
Committee rules
I'm guessing we're meeting before this next meeting, but.
by unanimous consent. There's been a motion to approve, or to add all approved and failed absences from the Rules and Ethics Committee under Rules and Ethics by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Okay, I move to make a special rule to hear and vote on those as a block.
There's been a motion to add a special rule to make all approved and failed absences from the Rules and Ethics Committee a block by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes. Any other motions? Do I hear a motion to set the time and date?
I moved. Yeah, you can do it.
Oh.
8 p.m. So.
Yeah, I moved to set the time and date of the upcoming Senate meeting to be, let's see, at 8 p.m. on Tuesday, April 2nd, and set it in the Rights Union Senate Chamber. By unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to set the time and date of Senate to Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024 at 8 p.m. in the Senate chambers by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Okay. Before we adopt the agenda.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's just,
I always.
Do you want me to read off the
just run
motions?
off the motions real
Yeah,
quick.
the motions were obviously all of the approved replacement agenda committee recommendations, all approved legislation by the Judiciary Committee under its respective readings, so the one under third, the others under first. All approved and failed absences from rules and ethics under rules and ethics, and then a special rule to hear those as a block, and then a motion to set the time and date.
That's everything.
8 p.m.
Do I hear a motion to adopt the agenda by unanimous consent?
I move to adopt the agenda by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes. I will adjourn this meeting at 7:34 p.m.